me hit.
We're back.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I just noticed there when I went to go on live that it wasn't going live on Twitter, and it was saying that I needed a premium account. They've just brought that in by the looks of it. But we are live on Instagram tonight for the first time, Gary. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep flicking out the comments that have come through on here. So hello, everybody. What a weekend. Finished off there by a very convincing win from Man City. Chelsea are in trouble in my eyes, but we'll get to that. Is that better with your headphones, Gary?
Can you hear us okay?
Aye, can you hear us?
Yep, perfect.
Get in. Right, so the Premier League kicked off on Friday night down in Manchester. Manchester United against Fulham. Gary, what was your take on it?
Well, at first, like massive excitement just to be back there, wasn't it? You know yourself, like all week we're just like, I think not just like Man United fans and Fulham fans, probably just like everyone in general, they were just so excited for the Premier League to be back. It's how much it means to everyone, isn't it? But just to get back in there and just to hear that roar, you could feel it like there's something special, like if we're going to a football stadium and watching a game of football, it's just totally different. If you go to games, you get it. If you sit and watch it in the house, you probably don't. But it's just that feeling you get, man. You cannot beat it. If you could bottle it up, you would take it everywhere, would you?
You would. Yeah. You're right what you say. Like, and I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a place in Los Angeles. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
With a big screen. That actually
looks like in the Stratford end.
Aye, that's the nearest you're gonna get if you kind of get to the game. You know, like once that comes to the UK, because it'll come new that like it's been shown, clubs and pubs would be sold out.
Unbelievable. No, that's really good.
If you haven't seen it, get yourself. In fact, I'll show you on Twitter a little bit later on. Dave Armstrong saying, "Evening, boys. Are you all right, Dave? Hope you're
Hello,
well,
Dave. Mate, you all right?
We need a Toon fan to come on, mate. Do you fancy coming on and give her a ring? Just to discuss once we get to the Toon, that is. Give the ring on 07469 71 0070 and we'll get you on. Just 5 minutes, mate, talking about the Toon, where you think they're gonna end up, transfers, how you seen the match yesterday, etc. etc. If anybody else fancies, just give her a ring on that number there. And we'll get you on. I think I've got a Sunderland fan coming on about 7:20 to 8. So it'd be nice to get a Toon fan on to get their side and boost the North East. So the game started. Mason Mount, yellow card in 18 minutes. I thought Mason was very, very active. Seen a massive improvement on last season, just in like 45 minutes, really. He looked like he wanted to be involved. He wanted to be on the ball. He didn't really like do a lot, but the signs were there. And I know he's got a lot of criticism this weekend, saying like he shouldn't be given the number 7 shirt, etc., etc. Maybe he shouldn't, but he's our player, and we need to get behind him, you know, because you've got players there that didn't try and didn't track back. He covered some square meters in that first half. Like another one who got booked was Harry Maguire just before half time. Again, I thought Harry was absolutely unbelievable. He a couple of times it could have quite easily let's not get this wrong. They could have beat us. They had a couple of good attacks, and you know, like Harry saved quite a few times. Second half begins. Ten Hag makes some substitutions. brings on Garnacho for Diallo, and when you sign in Zirkzee, came on for Mason Mount. Zirkzee obviously grabbing the crucial goal for 3 minutes before the full-time whistle, and
Excellent finish.
excellent finish. You know, at the time I thought it was a deflection.
Aye.
You
When
know,
you
from
watch
where I
it
was
back,
sat,
when you watch
It
it
wasn't.
back, it was excellent goal. That
it was a proper poacher's goal, wasn't it? You just getting a tip on it, any kind of tip. You know, like if you're putting the balls in the box as you're seeing through like Brentford the day against Crystal Palace, if we didn't get of it, they might get a touch and it might be an own goal. Just put it in the dangerous area. That's exactly what we did. Again, Bruno Fernandes, you know, like covering a lot of blade. His blade's covering a lot of grass. He was absolutely amazing. I will mention De Ligt. I think he was too keen to impress. A couple of times he got caught, you know, like trying to make that full-on challenge. But I think he'll adapt. He looks like a leader, Gary.
And he did make a couple of good interceptions, like ushered a couple of balls to the player. But he'll be a solid. Yep.
Got a phone call, so we'll take it.
Go on then.
If it's a Toon farm, we'll jump straight onto the Toon games.
There you
See
go.
who it is. Hello? 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 Can you hear us or not? Aye, who's that? Hello, John. Right, ring us back then. Aye, ring us back.
Cheers, the carpets.
Hold on, mate. Aye, good job. I kept him on mute.
Was he after the carpets?
I done it on purpose. I haven't got his number saved. Aye, where were we, Gary? Man United and Fulham.
So obviously he made the changes like later on. He more or less changed the whole defense. Back to the earlier on in the game, though, I mean, it took about 10 minutes to get into it. But I thought after the first 10 minutes, I don't know what he thought about, but that press from the front, like that's what he wanted to do from when he first came in. And honestly, it was explosive. Like we closed them down in every single area, but you could tell that everyone was doing it. Like Rashford was doing it, Bruno was doing it, Casemiro was driving on if his man was going in. And on about 4 or 5 good occasions, like it worked. But we just didn't get that finishing touch where we needed the goal. I mean, we had chance after chance. Missed one-on-ones. Bruno Fernandes went through. I thought he could have squared it. That's from a live point of view anyway. Whether it wasn't or not, I don't know. But the keeper, apparently he was man of the match until Zirkzee scored that goal, according to Gary Neville. But I don't know. There was a lot of positives to take. I think we should have scored 2 or 3 looking back. And now people said we're lucky, but I don't think we're lucky. We deserved to win the game hands down and 3 points. But in the end, it was scraped at our other line, even though we should have had a couple more.
I think, you know, like we probably didn't have to win the game, but I think the game could have been like 3-2, 4-3 kind of game because they had chances as well. I think because you see it a lot, teams come to Old Trafford and it is like cup final still, so they play out of their skin. But they didn't come to Old Trafford to get beat. They wanted to play football. If they did the remainder of the season, I honestly think that they'll be in the top 10 because they were strong. They had a big team. You know, like it was a good game to watch, to be fair. And that was only 1-0, but it was a pretty exciting game to be involved in. It was I'm looking forward to seeing Fulham for the rest of the season, to be honest with you, judging off that performance. But you see time and time again, they might go away to whoever they're playing. Who they got next week? They've got Leicester at home. You know, that'll be a good judge of seeing where they're at, whether this was a one-off or... But I think they'll do all right this year, mate. I really do.
They should. But like you say, it's whether they're going to have that same like fire in their belly. Like you had Old Trafford, it's the first game of the season. Like like you said, it's a cup final when they're there. On another day, they might have gotten something, but on another day, we might have scored 4. Good win. I'm pleased to get the first game out the way, and we won. It's 3 points on the table. You just move on to the next one. And
Definitely.
good.
Aye, definitely. I'll just.
What did you think of Mazraoui? I
You know
thought
what
he
it
was
is? I'm going to come
excellent.
to that because Martin Gallen's saying Sunderland played well today. Hopefully they come up so we can have the derby back. He's probably one of the only lads that are now who keeps saying that. And
Right.
you want them back, don't you? You know,
I
they're your
do.
big games, they're your massive days. Paul Blake is saying Mazraoui on the night, up top debut, 100
Fuck.
million% Blakey. He was
He's the best player on the
unbelievable.
pitch for me before he
Aye.
went off.
He was absolutely unbelievable. Everything. I didn't think he put his foot wrong. Honestly,
Yeah. And according to Ten Hag in his post-match, and he said he went, and he knows he's not like at the level he needs to be at the minute. Like that's him like on 75%. So if that's what's to come, then for what 15 million euros, what's that like 12 million?
Aye.
Absolute steal.
If you look on Twitter, the Bayern Munich fans are absolutely devastated.
That the Senate
I can't believe how cheap he's gone for. Like they mentioned a delict. It's all about Mazraoui. You know, like I mean, we're gonna come to transfers in the second half of the show. We want to get through the results, and obviously we'll look forward to next week. But we will touch on transfers as well for about 10 minutes if we get through it in time. Mark Hadaway says, like the Toon 1-0 win or a 5-0 win, it's 3 points is all that matters. We're going to come to the Toon Mark in a minute. Premier League on the Saturday, mate. It started early down in Ipswich. Tight first half. I watched the first half. I didn't watch the second half. And that seemed to be where the action was. Liverpool, come out the second half. And Diogo Jota scores first. An assist from Mo Salah. And then Mo Salah gets on the score sheet 2-0. I didn't see the second half, so I cannot comment, right? But Diogo Jota, if he gets a chance this year, mate, I love him, mate. I think he's one of Liverpool's best players. He's so influential on the pitch. He cannot just score. I mean, he scores headers, he scores worldies, he creates, he tackles, he gets back. He's got everything, mate, and I think he needs a bit more of a chance, and you might get it under this Arnie Snot, whatever you call him. Did you see the game or not?
No, I was traveling home, so I was trying to keep like I've seen like highlights and stuff. Apparently, in the first half, Ipswich were like deed and lucky nuts to get like in front. But how many times was said that now, like over the last like few seasons, when you get a chance against these big sides, that you might get 45 minutes at a max. You didn't take them chances. You know for a fact what's going to happen in the second half because they won't play bad for 90 minutes. They just didn't. They've just got players that can change a game like in a flick of a beat, and that's exactly what happened there. It was a game of two halves. Ipswich had their chances, didn't take them, and then bang, Liverpool 2-0 because they're clinical, and you know they're going to get a chance, but that's the difference in that. Like that'll be a hard lesson learned for Ipswich, though, but. On the whole,
I had them playing football, like mate. You know the first half.
No, exactly.
They press high, pressing really high. That's what I noticed, and you know, like that's some good opportunities. To be fair, and I think you know, like they find their feet in the Premier League. I cannot see Ipswich being an easy ground to go into. I just cannot see it.
A lot of people said that they don't think they'll go down, but that remains to be seen because I mean, Luton come flying out the traps, didn't they, when they first come up? It's not just one game. It's like our the season, and it. So you just see how it pans out.
I think the fans is going to have a lot to do with it. It's Portman Road, obviously in Ipswich. It holds 30,000 nearly. So you know, if you've got 30,000 of them getting behind the team, that's going to help. You know, exactly. the 12th man. There's no doubt about it. You know, like Old Trafford on Friday night. It was all right, to be fair. I don't know if it was just my new seats or whatever, but it was all right, to be fair. But when we scored, it went to a different level, and you could see the players reacting to it. They do react.
Then we nearly got another one.
Like so. The
pushes
other man,
of course,
the more that you're behind the team, the better. You know, like it's gonna help in the long run. And if you've got 30,000 of them, you know, it's been a long travel for any team that goes there, apart from Southampton. You know, like it can be a daunting experience, and that's what they need to use. I think that they're gonna stay up. They need to be picking points up at home. But they've got the hardest game of the one of the hardest games of the season to start there, and they didn't get out of it. So it is what it is. Mark Hadaway, Melly, forget transfers. We ain't bought anyone. Agree with Jota, but he gets a lot of injuries, unfortunately for us. I didn't know that, to be fair. I knew he'd been out, but, prior to that, when he was at Wolves, was he injury prone or was it?
Aye, I
he
think
was.
a little bit, but he's right. Jota has been out quite a bit for Liverpool. Aye, that's the thing with these players. He's little and he gets in the boot, but injured quite a bit. It's a little bit like Neto that's just went to Chelsea. I think he's a really good player, but he's a bit injury prone as well. So keep them fit. It's half the battle.
And we will get to Chelsea, because that's an absolute farce, like what we were saying last week, and I wasn't really joined up on it. But it is an absolute farce what's going on there at the minute, and I can see them struggling. We'll come to that though. Back into London, Arsenal 2, Wolves 0. Kai Havertz and Bukayo Saka. Saka just turns it on for Arsenal, doesn't he?
There's no two ways about it. He's class. And I thought, I think we both thought that Wolves, having looked at the pre-season, they were good to watch. According to the crack, Arsenal just blew them away, and it was a bit of an exhibition match. So that's a strong statement to start your first game, isn't it, really?
Well, they had double the goal attempts. They had 18 to Wolves 9. They had 6 shots on goal to Wolves as 3. It seems that they've 8 corner kicks to Wolves as 2. It seems like although the possession's only 53 to 47%. Good start for Arsenal. Good strong start for Arsenal. I hope they don't keep it up. Really, really didn't like them. Next up was Everton against Brighton. Unbelievable. So Matoma scores in the first half for Brighton, making it 1-0. Come out for the second half. Danny Welbeck makes it 2-0. Ashley Young. I would like to know how many red cards he's had in his career, because he gets a red card when their backs are against the wall anyway. And then Adingra makes it 3-0 to Brighton. And they also had a goal disallowed in the 90 plus 1 minute from Ayari. So it could have potentially been 4-0. Possession-wise, mate, that's 63% to Everton's 37%. Plenty of goals attempts from both teams. There was only 5 shots on target from Brighton, but only 1, from Everton. So they've had their asses kicked there, mate, to be fair.
Right. I mean, I know they had a red card, but obviously that was in the second half on that. Everton, I think before even the season started, everyone knew how much they struggled. They were probably looking to stay up at the back end of last season, and Dyche came in, stiffened them up a little bit. But there's a lot more going on at Everton than just the football inside of it, isn't there? So you didn't have that's having some sort of impact on the players, this talk of them being folded, and the new stadium, the sponsors have gone down, and you're thinking, well, what sort of effects it's going to have? And it doesn't look like it's a good one, if I'm being honest. Looking at the ratings, all the Everton teams in red ratings, and it's is that frustration, Ashley Young? You know what I mean? You never know, do you?
I think Ashley Young's had his day, to be fair, mate. I mean, he gives 100% when he plays, but if you're relying on Ashley Young for anything, then you're doomed. I would say, there's plenty of young'uns out there that'll run for 90 minutes and probably do just as good a job. It's not looking good for Everton in my eyes. I can see them potentially getting, well, definitely in a relegation battle, unless some kind of miracle comes about. Not a good start at all for Everton. Let's flick through a few of these messages, although this one's a bit cheeky. How was the new cheap seats? I was livid. Honestly, it was. So we're on a corner, right on a corner, and they've put the seat too far back. So I'm little, but I was literally sitting like this. There was a guy in front of us. He must have been a rapper or something, because you could just see all these boxer shorts. You could see his crack. And every time he was jumping back, it was hitting my knees. I thought, oh, nah. If Man United phoned me new and said, these execs are back available, I need 15 grand off you, I would have taken it instantly. Hey, lad. Not good. Ray saying Arsenal look good. It might be their season. Well, Ray, you know what? You're probably right, but they didn't go out and buy a striker. And in my opinion, like that's potentially where they lacked. They're relying on Jesus and Havertz, and they're too unpredictable. If you want to
Totally
win,
agree.
like Man City wanted to win the Champions League, they went out and they bought Haaland because they knew that's what they were missing. Arsenal's in exactly the same position, mate. I think that they needed to buy a striker. That they've done well the last 2 seasons. They've just missed out. So if you're the manager of that, you're thinking, right, we need to get a strike. We need to get a striker. And Martin Gallen's just commented there, Tony to Arsenal tomorrow, which is interesting because Tony wasn't in the lineup today for.
I've seen that.
And I got a good source a few weeks ago that
was it tomato or brown?
No. Honestly, this is a really good source. I'm not going to mention his name because he got invited to his first game in his new club. But so that cemented it to me that he was leaving today, not being in the lineup. And you just don't understand, like, why have they not done it? You know what I mean? You've had
why you waited
6, 7 weeks or something. Why did they wait until the season starts and then you need it?
Maybe they think they're going to get. Maybe they think they're going to get it like a bit of a cheaper deal or something if they wait until the end of the window, or I don't know.
Well, apparently Tony's got 20 quid on that, the dividend.
Probably, yeah.
Amanda King, hi, Melly and Gary. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, you all right?
Tuning in. Thank you. And we'll go on to the next one. Up north in the northeast, it was Newcastle 1, Southampton 0. Fabian Shaw gets sent off in the 28th minute. I don't know if you've seen it, Gary, but it was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, you see that. Well, you see that.
I was going to say, on the other hand, if it's the other way around, Shaw's doing exactly the same, isn't he?
So, right. Yeah. So what's happened is they went in for a bit of a collision. He's pushed him out. He's getting up. He's reacted. As soon as he put your head to his head, you're giving the referee a decision to make. It's the first game of the season. Everyone's up a height. They're probably excited to be back. The crowd's buzzing. But you've given him a decision to make. Like, as soon as he put your head to his, and if he push, you're just giving him every chance to get you sent off. It's crazy by Shaw to do it. It's very soft, and it's not a sending off, but you've given him every opportunity to send you off. So, in my eyes, you can only blame yourself.
I don't know if you've seen what Newcastle United tweeted today. Sean Longstaff, 100% challenge or something. He was lucky. He was lucky with the same kid that he didn't get sent off because he went to do that as well. Right. If you watch it, get onto it like on Newcastle United's official page, and they've shared it. And I thought, you know what, your mate's been sent off, and then 5 minutes later, you challenge him in anger, and then like he actually moves his head. I'll probably be able to show you, like when we share the screen in a little bit. But I thought, if he gets sent off, and then your backs really are against the wall, because the stats made 78% possession to Newcastle's 22%. 19 goal attempts with 5 on target and 6 off target. Newcastle had 3 goal attempts, 1 shot on goal, which they scored from, obviously.
But did you see where they scored from as well?
Aye, with a keeper.
And he's passed it out. He's passed across the box and then just give it away.
But what I will say is 2 things. One is Southampton cannot have that much possession and score a goal. They also are going to suffer this season.
Massively.
But take nothing away from Newcastle. I can't remember, I was speaking to you and they said, and they were saying, we want to go. And I said, no, like, we united. You're doing to 10 men and you've stopped a team who's absolutely hammered you. And I mean, hammered you. Do you know, like, you've went on getting 3 points. That's a massive, massive 3 points. Huge. I didn't see it coming. Definitely not. It's quite a lot of players picked the tune in that last man standing. And I thought, there's a lot going out here. Like,
you think, like, at 0-0, you're thinking, well, you're just waiting for Southampton to get the goal and then Newcastle can nick it. And then once you get the goal, you just fancy them sort of like, I fancy Newcastle now, like when they get in front, that they can like defend, especially when they've got like Joe Linton and that in the team, because they will run the arses into the ground. Mm-hmm. And the setup
was amazing. Bruno got man of the match. But I thought Joe Linton was
class.
Absolutely, aye.
Like
Class.
for someone that was bought as a £40 million striker, he's turned into a canny midfielder, hasn't he?
Unbelievable. It's the type of
Um,
midfielder that every team wants. He would walk into any team
aye.
in
And
football, I think, in playing that position.
he was missed, wasn't he? He was probably part of the reason why Newcastle missed it, like on the Europe, well, Europe in general or Champions League, because they just tailed off when they didn't have him in the team. He's massive for them, and good 3 points for the Toon. Cannot say I'm not good at that. Southampton didn't pit them but that's football, isn't it? Good 3 points though, but red card again, like. You put your head to someone. You've given them a chance to send you off. Like you shouldn't have better.
Aye. Yeah, Johnny B here, still using his lass as a coon. Up the mags. Hope you was all well, lads. And that sending off was a joke. Both players put heads together. Both should have been sent off. I didn't think the other kid put his head forward, though, did he? It's the movement that they're looking at.
Aye.
So, nah.
Soft. I don't think it's sent off, but like some refs will give it, some will not. Like.
Martin Gallen, Maguire dive deserved to be a red, should give reds and it will clamp down on it. Why not likely? They'll dive. Everybody dives. If we did that, we'll be doing the 6-7 aside every game. That's literally become a massive part of the game. So I disagree with there, Gallen. And good evening, lads, says Josh Wilson. Good evening, pal.
Hi, Josh.
Nottingham Forest 1, Bournemouth 1. Chris Wood, our Newcastle striker, scoring in the 23rd minute. Bournemouth had a goal disallowed, Utara, and then the nick one in the 86th minute through Semenyo. So I think we probably both predicted a draw in that game, to be fair, Gary. I couldn't see it going any other way. I think so. I think we need to start writing down, though, and scoring. And then we'll have a big crack about it on the week after to see how many points we've got. I did originally, but I think if we're just at the end, right down, we'll predict what we think the scores is going to be. At the end, and then I'll go back when I get in the house and I'll write it down. The last game on Saturday, it was Saturday evening, and you had West Ham to win this, if you remember rightly. You thought they would be strong, but Aston Villa's obviously come out and beat them 2-1. The new signing, Onana, scores in the 4th minute. West Ham get the equaliser through a penalty on the 37th minute through Paqueta. But in the 79th minute, Jade Duran scores for Aston Villa, taking all 3 points back to Villa. Good win for them. Good, hard place to go into. First game of the season, obviously. But Villa's, they've come back the way they ended last season, really. West Ham did have more possession, which you would probably expect down there, just by 51 to 49%. Villa had more attempts on target. Both had equal amount shots on goal. So it's been a pretty fair game, to be fair, and pretty close. So could have went either way by the looks of it.
I watched like a canny bit of this game, and to be honest, when West Ham equalised, like they probably didn't really deserve it. It had been most of Villa, but then once they did equalise, like towards the end of the first half, and then even into the second half, it was West Ham that was like piling the pressure on, and they looked like they were going to score. And I don't know if you've seen a Souček at the end, missed an absolute sitter. It's like 4 or 5 yards, and he sticks it over the bar. No, but Villa's goal was absolutely class. Like it was about 4 or 5 players involved, like 1-2, and then guns it wide, comes in, cuts it back, and then he finishes it. It was absolutely mint goal. But in the based on the game, it should have probably finished a draw, but you take your chances. In West Ham, like I say, they missed an absolute sitter, so that points drops for them. But Villa, good start. 2-1 away to West Ham.
Yeah. Barry said no, it wasn't, guys. I say it again. More jam than Hartley's them buggers.
You'll be trying to get the tune again.
I think he's gonna ring in soon. Anyway, so we'll have a big crack with Sunderland when he does ring in. Josh Wilson says, do a Super 6 each week on official app. Don't know how we do that. Do you?
What, the Super 6? So it's just on Sky. Aye.
I thought aye. Good day. Let's just try and keep
I'll just do your own Super 6. Like, put the 6 teams up and we'll just pick the teams.
Martin Gallen, Paula says you sound more professional now. Keep up the good work. Nelly Andrew Nelson says, evening, gents. Andrew.
Hello,
hey,
Andrew. Yeah,
Andrew,
right.
you all right? Good job. She isn't watching it as Gary is drinking and you're vaping. I'm not vaping. Now, when I put
What?
you on solo, can you still see me, Galen? When I put Gary on solo, like new, can you see me or not?
Well, yeah, I can.
You can because you're on the screen, but they can't, I don't think. Right. I try and thingy you can because you can get what you call it for that. But if you
What,
see
like
that
you
as
showing
real, you
videos?
also restrict what
What, like
what
you showing
news that you
videos?
fund. Right, the day of Brentford against Crystal Palace. Excellent win this for Brentford, by the way. 2-1. Not sure why the goal got disallowed. Did you see it, the free kick?
Oh, unbelievable.
I
That is the
didn't
one.
get that. I didn't get why they're disallowing that goal. And if anybody knows any different, let me know because that is mental. Nobody's interfering with the game. And he just caught the keeper off guard and he scored. There's nothing the matter with it. But anyway,
Wait, you see the hand going up, honey?
Eh?
You seen a hand going up and grab and
What's that got to do with the goal?
I know.
It's not interfering with the keeper's line and out. It's got on goal, isn't it?
Why grab him though?
Kick.
You know what I mean? Like you
Why
play
you
your team. Why are you doing it?
Aye.
Why are you grabbing him?
Mental.
You've got to run on him if you want it. Like just run past him. Why are you grabbing him? It's fucking stupid.
Mbembo scores obviously in the 29th minute. Pinnock scores an own goal in the 56th, and then Wissa scores in the 76th minute for Brentford. Absolute travesty for Dean Henderson. I don't know what he's doing there. I'm sure as a goalkeeper, you're trained to get it like out the 6-yard box. He's actually trying to put it back in the 6-yard box. I didn't get it. So Brentford win 2-1. Excellent result for them. Good start of the season. Palace will probably feel a little bit hard done by, but if you didn't put your chances away, then you get nothing there.
Well, that's it, mate. I mean, and Mateta's back in, but like obviously he's been away like the whole summer, like with France and the Olympics, and he has. So it worries us a little bit, like that he's going to be like burnt out already. Like he hasn't had a summer, has he? He's come back in. You've lost Elise here. That Kamada's come in, but it's just breaking the chain in the team, isn't it? You've got Guehi there playing at the back. By the way, like if Newcastle pay our 70 million for him, they're mental. Mm-hmm. Absolutely mental.
I don't understand why they need a left centre back. Well, they've got that area covered, have they not?
Well, they've got Botman, but obviously I think he's done like a cruciate. I don't know if it is. Do you think it's maybe they're thinking that's 2 bad injuries like in the space of a year for him? Like other thinking like for
get rid,
or like is this going to be like a reoccurring problem sort of thing? I don't know if it's 2 similar injuries or what, but I don't know if he's got like a good 9-month route.
I think with him playing the day, mate, he's obviously not leaving
at the minute. But I think if Newcastle, I mean, I think the kid that plays next to him, that Anderson, I think he's as good as any of them. And he can play him like he's really, really good.
Crystal Palace have obviously got West Ham at home this weekend, but then on 3 days later, on the 27th, if it's not tied up by then, they've got Norwich in the Cup. You know, like they'll hopefully want to have that sorted by then, I would have thought, because if he plays in that, then he's staying, isn't he?
Well, you would think so.
Not that far away.
And there's other defenders out there like that Newcastle could be looking at, like as cover. And at Chelsea, I mean, like you said, we're going to touch on it, but they've got a 40-man squad apparently. Like,
let's just jump straight on that, Gary. Actually, because Chelsea today have getting beat in the late kickoff of City 2-0. Haaland scores early on, 18 minutes, and they had a goal disallowed at half time. I don't understand why Nico Jackson's actually that far forward when his player's going to take a shot. He's a forward. He's getting paid hundreds of thousands of pounds to be a forward. Like, you've got to expect a rebound, so you've got loads of room not to be offside. So absolutely ridiculous. And then Kovacic obviously scores a min goal against his former club.
Did I think it was soft by the keeper? The keeper should be saving that. I thought, like
the goal.
Aye.
Kovacic, unbelievable.
I thought the keeper should have saved that.
he actually gets a hand of it though, and he's close, so you can get a strong hand on it. I could understand if he was stretching right out of the goal and just.
No, that's what I'm saying. I think he should save it.
100%, mate.
He should. It's a shite goal to concede that.
Unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. I mean, let's touch on that, Gary. I'll just quickly look on here. Chelsea squad. Because have you seen that? Sterling's put a statement out the night. His management.
Aye. Didn't blame him, like.
No, I didn't blame him at all. So I'm just looking through the squad here. Wow. That's absolutely bonkers. They've got 44 players, is that right?
Aye.
First team.
Aye.
Wow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That Chalobah and that, like, he'd be one again for, like, as a good backup. Like, he was starting for them last season. And, I mean, who they had the day? Fofana and Colwell.
Aye, I like that Colwell, mate.
No, he's all right, aye. But then they bought that Badashili. They've got, like I say, they've got Chalobah. I don't know who the rest of them. There's tons. They're just like.
Neto came on. If you're Neto, why on earth are you wanting to go on there?
It's just toxic.
I just didn't understand it. It's another American, again, owning a football club. They didn't understand it. Like, he's literally trying to buy success. Like,
it's never ever going to work like that.
It's not going to work. It's not 2006, 7. You know, like, where you come in and you bought a few players and it was everybody in the Premier League now is like, I just think the Premier League's changed a lot from what it was. But you cannot just bring in players and expect overnight success. It doesn't happen. That Mudryk is a prime example. He's an absolutely fantastic player. But, like, if he didn't get the minutes and he didn't get a run, how can you expect somebody to keep coming in and out and perform at, like, the level that you want them to perform? You need a solid 11, what you'll rotate. 17, 18 players, maybe.
It's the system for me though. Like, it keeps changing, like, all the time. Like the day they end up going to like a 2 in the middle, and then that Enzo was playing like in front, and then you had Palmer and Cuckoo, and then that Jackson in front, and it's just like looking at it, it just doesn't work. Like, they're just all over the shop. Like, you never know what, like, they're trying to do, but then. The way they were playing last season, like Pochettino towards the end, where you had like I think he ended up getting to a 3 at the back. And then he was playing with wing backs, and that's when that Cucurella and that started like playing really well, like he'd done in the Euros. But everything they did, it seemed to have gone like it was like into a funnel. So the space was outside, but they kept trying to drive through the middle of the box. And they were like chucking at each other. They were getting in each other's way, and like no one knew where the ball was going. Like, and you're thinking, well, everyone just kept, like, even Palmer, he's coming in off that right hand side, and he's got cutting in into the left, and you're thinking, like, half the time they were hitting their own players with the ball because, like, everyone's just like into the middle, and you're thinking, surely, like, someone's saying, like, how, like, pull it wide, like, let's try and create some, stretch it out, like, because we're getting plenty of the ball, but. Honestly, I've seen that like it. Oh, it was like schoolboy football, man. It was terrible.
Martin Keynes, yeah, you're right, Martin. Chelsea are a joke. 10 signings this season, not one of them started the day. That's criminal, isn't it? If you're a Chelsea fan, look, if this is happening at Man United, you want transfers and that. But you'd rather not have it like that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
I would.
I mean, Chelsea fans have been devastated about the way that Gallagher was treated. I mean, he's not a world beater, but I think it's the treatment of a young player that's come through the ranks, and kind of just like
here, Gary, that Conor Gallagher's missing the days. So has he not getting a transfer?
No, so he's come back, but they've made him train alone, and apparently they're trying to seal a deal for João Felix to come in. Like, where does he go?
Well, he's already been there and tried it.
I see. Apparently, he's coming back,
isn't it?
He's coming back, and Gallagher's gone the other way. It's mental, man.
Mental.
They haven't got a clue what they're doing.
Flick through these quickly, mate, and then we'll hit the ads, and we'll talk about the upcoming fixtures and some transfers in the second half. We've done 40 minutes, man. It's mental, that. Good job. She isn't watching it as Gary is drinking a new vape, and Chris.
You already said that.
Chris Dovey will supply cups and beakers for your drinks. Good advertising. He's welcome to if he wants. I've got the talk and turf like, but I'm more than happy advertise Dovey. Good lad, Dovey. George Leck, you lads are doing a better job than Sky Sports pundits. Keep it going.
Thanks, Jody.
Yeah, tell her later, Jody. Cheers. Look, the scream at first, then the replay was so bad from the goalkeeper.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and we've just read Marv's. So we'll hit the adverts and then we'll come back and we'll get our predictions on the upcoming games this week and we'll take a few transfers. I hope I've got the right adverts here because there's two. Talking Turf podcast with Melly and Gary. Get another crack with the lads. You can advertise on here too. Just give her a message. The adverts you're about to see now, all the guys are supporting the podcast. And with that, in return, we support you. We hit on average between 5 to 10,000, I would say, per month, people locally. So, yeah, if you want to get on here, just give us a message. You can get us on Facebook. Most people's got my number, or you know where to find us. Melly's Carpet. If you'd like to advertise with us like these following businesses have done, then get in touch with Melly or Gary. It's only $5 a show, and we're hitting on average, I would say, between 10 and 20,000 people per month. Support us, and we'll help support you. Melly's Carpets and Bed, 63 Station Road in Ashington. Free measures are available daily. You can call 01670 632216 or find us on Facebook. Melly's Carpets and Beds. Laying our reputation, one recommendation at a time. BA Commercials and Northeast Metals Limited, where you can get almost any used car part. The best prices is paid here for scrap vehicles and metals. They have containers to rent short and long term from just £30 per week, as well as plant hire and also commercial buildings for rent. Call during working hours on 07825 405 772. GB Glazing and Joinery Limited. Based in Ashington, Northumberland, but covering the whole of the Northeast. CERTAS approved, who specialise in windows, doors, warm roofs, kitchen, conversions, and conservatories. Call Gary during working hours on 07825 160 777. A1 Fire Stopping and Drilling Services, who specialise in installation and maintenance of passive fire protection, fire stopping, and thermal installation systems. You can email your query to Martin. That's at martin.gallen@a1firestop.co.uk or call during working hours on 07751 429 045. A1 Fire Stopping Services. Ashington Properties, whose company mission is to create high-quality homes for the local community and Northumberland, and whose company values are transparency, trust, and loyalty. You can email them at ashingtonproperties@gmail.com or call during working hours on 07985 203 094. Mates Rates Pro Cleaning, professional internal and external cleaning, both residential and commercial. Follow them on all social media platforms or call Nick on 07423 333 496 during working hours. And last but not least, most cuts. You can call Lewis on 07519 07787. You can find him on Facebook, and you can also book through the Booksy app. You'll find them down in Newbiggin on Front Street, straight opposite Chisholm Bookmakers. Always look fresh when you get cut off Moz. Welcome back. Special thank you to everybody that does that adverts with. It does help with. Thank you very much indeed. Let's have a quick look at this. You're welcome, lads. Keep it going, says George Leck. And Billy Noble has said, how 3 years after being taken over am I still watching Kraft, Shaw and Co, etc. And Chelsea can have 46 players for fuck's sake. Honestly, I cannot answer that. I really honestly don't know. There's got to be some kind of loophole that this Todd Bowling has.
Just give us a second.
It will be a good time to ring. Yes, we have. Can you hear us, Fazza?
Hello.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have, let's get the banner on for him. Lee Fairgrieve, a Sunderland fan. How are you doing, Fairy?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad.
Happy days. Hey, can he win the day for you?
Oh, cracking. I was just waiting till you. I'm echoing. Yeah, I was just.
Are you on Give Gaff?
I think so. I'm on Summit. I think I picked up Brody's phone.
Well, you're not echoing here anyway. So go on, crack on, Ferry. Good win the day for you, mate. Obviously, Sunderland 4, Chef Wed 0. Sirkin scores, and then Mayenda, Luke 09, and then Mayenda again. Who's this Mayenda? Can you tell her?
Yeah, he's just one of our many talented reserves. Never gets a game, really. I haven't heard much about him, to be honest. He's just come to light when, obviously, we were having our French manager and him being French and all, I think he's understanding them and playing the way he wants, you know. Yeah. They come out the block sharp, like they look good today.
I was 3-0 within 24 minutes.
It was a bit like the horn, Gary.
Gary, I can't hear you.
You've muted Gary because I'm on, man.
No. He's had a trouble with his headphones. I think he should just tap.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, Gary lad. We've got Fairy on. Can you hear Fairy?
No, I could hear you.
They couldn't hear Gary.
I can hear him faintly.
Can you? So this is the new kid that's come through, aye?
I think so. No, they've had him a while, like, but I didn't think they know what they wanted to pay up front. They've tried it. Maybe that job up front and that, and then obviously he's being told by the new hierarchy that he's definitely a midfielder, not a forward. Which I thought he had a belting game today as well. But I want to touch on the tune and all, because I like to talk about the tune.
Melly. Go on, get on it.
Honest to God, they have more jam than Hartley's, and anybody that denies it, honestly, they need their heat red. I was talking to Billy the day, and he'll confirm it because he's watching.
You're getting some love here.
If Shaw hadn't getting sent off, he reckons they would have gotten beat. You've got to give them a lift. But I just think that they've been really lucky there, like the two.
Well, I have to disagree with you. I think, I think they came together and they put on a performance. But that's an interesting point. Like you say, if Shaw hadn't getting sent off, would have went another way. Would they had the same kind of motivation as what they had? Good point.
That's what I'm saying. To give them a lift, didn't it?
Aye, good point. So have you got any transfers you can tell me with Sunderland that you're looking forward to watching out, or where do you think Sunderland's going to finish in the league?
They're supposed to be getting Mendy out on the line this week.
Which Mendy's that?
I don't know. They won't know the odds for me. I think he plays for is it Lens or something like that?
Right. Is he much of him or not?
Experience they're looking for, because obviously now we're all full of youth at the minute, like a bit of experience.
Right. Billy Noble's saying it's Wendy Mendy.
Wendy Mendy.
He's having your life.
I didn't bite to them, no, man.
Yeah. What do you reckon then for the season with Sunderland?
What? Say that again, son.
What do you think for the season with Sunderland? Do you think you'll get into the automatic promotion, or do you think you'll hit the playoffs?
We're looking at it now. I didn't want to peak too early. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're second, and then we've got Burnley next.
Burnley look strong.
Burnley will whack it, like, I think.
Aye, they look strong, mate.
I think something will probably be the same as a normal day. There's Luton finish about 10th or something, this season.
So
let's not be stupid. I mean, we're gulfs apart from the two, but we need to get them back just so we can have a bit fun, and I can take you to the derby again, and you can go, wow, this is much better than Old Trafford.
He's not going to say that.
Yeah, give over.
He's not saying that.
I said it was good, but nothing beats Old Trafford.
You were like, I've never experienced an atmosphere like this.
It was good. I tell you what, you should definitely get as many derby games as you can, because it was good. And I mean,
I didn't enjoy the last one.
who would have thought that about a year later that I would have scored the best goal that the Stadium of Light's ever seen?
Oh, unbelievable, wasn't it? That carbon copy of Defoe's against the two.
It was. Smacking Bastard saying Billy Noble will be a great fit for Fat Mike. But touching on that very quickly, right? I cannot understand for the life of us how Newcastle's been bought. Sunderland, they've got an excellent fan base, right? But why is somebody not coming in for Sunderland now? Did I like
Speakman?
Eh?
Speakman, that's why. He's a snake in the grass.
Right. Who's that?
He's rinsed in the club, I think. But
who is he? Is he the owner?
No, it's that Louis Dreyfus or whatever's the owner.
The young kid, isn't he?
Like the director, and he pulls all the strings, picks who he wants, and that's why we've gone through so many managers, man. They just want to make their own decisions and build their own team. And he's just, you can see by his previous recruitment, really bad.
Really bad. You haven't bought anybody this season. Did you have a good pre-season?
Not too bad. I watched them and it was same old Sunderland. I watched them a couple of times on, let's say, the TV, not the dodgy. It was, I was thinking, here's a long season, but I mean, I watched them against Cardiff and then I watched them again the day. And I was quite impressed. I have been the two, but I didn't want to start up and me mouth and that, Not like me.
Yeah. Well, you've got obviously you've got Burnley at home, and then Portsmouth away, Plymouth away, Wayne Rooney, and then you've got your derby, Sunderland, Middlesbrough. We had Gallon on earlier on saying he just wishes that you could come back up so you could have them days again, and I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, he said when we're going to do that deal, he said if it ever happens, I could go in his box or something.
Well, now, but you messed him about, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's what he's saying here.
I've got another one in.
Lee the Messer, that's what he's calling you. Are you watching the show when you haven't rang in, Ferry?
Well, I got a bit confused because I logged into the wrong Facebook on here. So I was been using this computer, but I'll have got sessions that everything must go and lamp lovers. I'm not even on mine.
Right. Well, listen, thanks for phoning, right? I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to share my screen now because we're going to have a little look at the transfer news, the latest transfer news. But if you hang up and put the show on, you'll see War Shaney the day at it's Sunderland. She loves it all.
I'll have a look, mate. I just need to log in the right one. I'd like to say I keep up the good work, lad. Good crack and all.
Mint. Hey, welcome on every week, mate.
And whatnot.
Have a big crack with Sunderland. If we could get some regulars on, ringing up and having a big crack with Sunderland, the local teams. I think we've got Glen Essex coming on next week to talk about the Toon and also local football. Because obviously you're involved in local football. You're still playing, aren't you, at the merry age of what? 50?
No, not before 48, mate.
48, but you're still there banging the goals in for Wood only and over 40s. How are they doing this season?
We're top.
Top of the league.
We're top.
Happy
I've just joined.
Gazza's coming back, I think, next weekend.
No, he's not. He's in Brighton. United.
The week after.
Yeah.
The week after.
No way, man.
Oh, no.
You have to put put better than egg mayo sandwiches on to get them ditch United like.
Yeah, that was just Hartlepool. You didn't get him back for the sandwiches anyway.
Wait. When he got all the way to Hartlepool for 5 minutes when it's now teaching that doing the 10 men.
Oh, well, lads.
I still tell them make it
Right. Listen, Faz, I'll let you go. Make sure you get this on because I'm going to show it new. Right?
All right, I'm going on new. Where is Youngman?
Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Gary says, mate. I don't think he can hear you. I have to try and get that sorted.
Can you hear us, Melly?
Just come to sort his waist now. Yeah, Youngman.
Tell her.
Can he hear us all right, Melly?
I can hear you.
He cannot.
He says he can hear you faintly.
Right.
I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway, not to worry. Quickly, we're going to have a look at some transfer news then. We'll do our predictions, Gary, for next week. So if I go on here and go on to share screen,
Did you see that injury to that Danilo in the Nottingham Forest game?
Who?
Danilo in the Nottingham Forest game. I think it was in the first 10 minutes, just that put a tent around him against Bournemouth.
Oh, never.
Snapped his ankle and it was pointing the wrong way.
Oh, you never want to see that, like.
Nah.
I hope he's all right. Is that the Forest player, is it?
Aye. Good midfielder, him now.
What a shame. It is.
First game of the season.
Right, let's have a look at this then. So, I should be screen sharing. Yeah, I'll just make sure it's definitely on. Oh, look at that, look. JD Players and Joinery Limited.
Yeah, we
How are the all in with the new series? Like for like. Polycarbonate roof replacement. Call or message for free quotes. Yes, she is, little Shinny B. Can you hear it?
Nah.
There we go. Right, let us start again.
You'll upset people on
it. Yeah. I tell you what, she loves it. Let's see what else it's got. Has it still got the square sheet? No. Right, so I'll present again. That's what I was saying there. Like, Sunderland need to be bought. They've got a hell of a following. Honestly, even when they've been crap out of the years, you know, people do take the piss, but they've got a good following. If you're like a potential investor, you're looking at that and thinking, potential sleeping giant here. You've got a derby, Newcastle, Sunderland, passionate as out. Buy them. I just cannot understand why they wouldn't buy them. Let's get this transfer news on. So I'll just say quickly before I do put it on, this isn't 100%. I don't know if they are authentic or not, but they do seem to get quite a lot of traction onto the page. So don't take everything you see here as the truth. It may not be. Okay, here we're going. Transfer news. Make sure that it's on. Yep, it's on. So in the last few hours, let's see what they've come up with.
Good football.
Real Madrid are considering a move for Laporte before the transfer window closes. Real Madrid have rejected a bid worth in excess of 100 million for Eder Militao from Saudi Arabia. I wouldn't be rejecting that. Absolutely not. Stupid that. Lookman will not join PSG. Crystal Palace are in talks with Wolfsburg to sign Lacroix in case one of Mark Gui or Anderson leaves the club. That's interesting for Newcastle. So it's obviously, you know, at the end of the day, he could have went out there and got injured and they could have lost all that money. I understand where they're coming from. They want so much. Newcastle should just pay the money and get it out of the line. If you look at them, you know, Harry Maguire went for 85 million after the last Euros. It's what happens as soon as they get the international caps and they have a good Euros. It might not do him any good.
He had won the Premier League as well, though.
Huh?
He had won the Premier League as well.
I know, but as soon as they're in England international, they must have been like that. They must have been clapping their hands as soon as Southgate was playing them, thinking, get in. Let's put 40 million. Because he's 35 million, isn't he?
Aye.
Without playing them Euros, he's 35 million quid. So you can see where Newcastle's come from, but at the end of the day, they need him. So they just need to pay the extra few million and buy him. They're getting good money for Anderson there. You know, so just do it.
And that other kid. Who else did they get? He had been on loan.
Was it Matt? I don't know.
And then he went to Brighton.
Aye. Was it not Matoma?
No.
Somebody will know in here. I can't remember.
And so they've ended up with 70 million off two players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just spend it.
Definitely. Interesting this, Gary. Manchester City have set a Christmas deadline for Pep Guardiola to make a decision about his future at the club.
I wonder why that is.
It's his last season in his current contract, apparently.
Oh, I wonder if he's waiting, though, because he wants to see what's going to happen if they're going to get sent to the non-league or not.
Probably.
Probably.
He's not stupid.
Of course it is.
He'll have top advisors, won't he?
Oh, you know what it is? You know what else is... Sorry. Do you know what else is interesting about that? Is that England's put a caretaker manager in.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chance that they've turned around and they've went, look, if shit hits the fan here, you can walk into the England job. We'll just put someone into them for now. If shit hits the fan, you walk into England at Christmas.
if England
Done.
take him on as manager,
we've got every chance of winning. We've got every chance.
If we didn't, then it's entirely due to the players.
Then he's shitting now.
No, at the end of the day, you cannot deny that he's an absolutely great manager and he plays a nice attacking flair in football. So we'll see. I would pay any money you had to get him. Southampton have agreed an initial $50 million deal for Matheus Fernandes from Sporting. The 20-year-old midfielder will have his medical today. Forest are considering a move to recruit Alex Marino. That will be on loan from Aston Villa. Fenerbahce manager Mourinho is going to huge lengths to land Ike Gundogan. Osimhen is set to reject Chelsea and Arsenal, so he can wait up to 2 weeks for his dream move to PSG. Arsenal midfielder Vieira will be available for loan this summer. Kingsley Coman is interested in leaving Bayern Munich. He'd be a good sign for somebody. Raheem Sterling was informed on Friday that he would not be selected in the Chelsea squad against Man City. Raheem Sterling is contracted with Chelsea Football Club for the next 3 years. He returned to England 2 weeks early to conduct individual training, and he had a positive pre-season under the new coach, who he had developed a good working relationship with. He's committed as ever to delivering at the highest level for Chelsea FC and the fans, who he holds in high regard. And given his inclusion in an official club pre-match material this week, our expectation was that Raheem would be involved in this weekend's fixture in some capacity. As a camp, we've always had positive dialogue with and insurance from Chelsea FC in relation to Raheem's future at the club. So we look forward to getting clarity on the situation. Until then, we will continue to support Raheem's desire to start the new season positively. What do you make of that, Gary?
Well, it hasn't started very positively, has it? That's like, so you know what it is? He was at Man City when Pep was there, and so was Raheem. That's when he was his number 2. Do you think that there's been bad blood when he's left City to get to Chelsea? And is that sort of like why he's come back early to try and like smooth things over, thinking, well, if I come back from my holidays, I can maybe try and work something up with him. And then he's come back, and then he's probably told him all the things he wants to hear. And then first day of the season, squad comes out, you're not in it. Like, it just looks a little bit like he's kind of like just fucked him over, really. To me, that's what it looks like. He's telling him what he wants to hear, and then up until the day, and then he's went, nah, you're not in.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that Raheem Sterling's not as good as that Nicholas Jackson. I'm not having it. Nicholas Jackson is probably one of the worst strikers I've seen in English football. And for some reason, he starts every game for Chelsea. Sterling, we've all seen him play there for Man City. He can play that role. He can't do it. He doesn't have to play off the left or off the right. He can play there.
Well, he's Premier League improving, isn't he?
Of course he is.
He's done it
year
after year. I'm just quickly sorting.
But he's obviously been given assurances beforehand to say like that's, and he's come back to try and like cement that, because he's probably had offers. I'm sure there was a bit of talk about Newcastle in him, and I heard Newcastle fans saying we would have him in a heartbeat, like at the tune, like it's a right midfielder because the one with Almiron leaving. So he'll have plenty of offers there. Like I wouldn't sit around there. I think they're a joke. If I'm being totally honest, like someone at his end of his career.
Definitely. He'll still do a job for any team in the Premier League, I would have thought. Maybe he's not like the top 4. He's come to that stage in his career, but Newcastle, absolutely.
He doesn't want to be sitting on the bench.
Nah.
Not
so Billy Noble saying not taking the piss. Fat Mike would be great for Sunderland to take them up. And it's interesting that Billy Noble's saying this, because everybody's got a bad perception of Mike Ashley at Newcastle. But I think that he did actually wonders for Newcastle. The reason they were able to be sold is because they had no debt. He kept, majority of the time he kept them up. He did buy players. Yes, he was hated in the end, but he is a businessman, first and foremost. But there's a lot worse ones out there than Mike Ashley.
And a good businessman. He made sure they were always making profit to buy players, and the one, like you say, they were never in debt. That's why they were in a good position when they were sold, and when they were sold, that they could buy players because, like, they were in such a good, healthy financial position.
Ferry's come on there. He said I would take Defo. So they're going to say it. Martin Gallen's been back on. If you've been to Sunderland, you'll understand why no one wants to buy them. Same could be said for Newcastle. Really, like it's everywhere's the same, isn't it? The city centres. None of them are like. Although Newcastle is probably one of the better ones, like, but for drinking anyway, you can have a drink, boom, if you're in the stadium. Do you know what I mean? Never been at the outskirts of Sunderland, but it has good places like it has its bad places, just like Newcastle has.
Seaman Ryhope's nice.
Where?
Seaman Ryhope's nice.
Aye.
Lovely.
Is that a fish and chip shop?
Oh, aye. Seaman's got one of the nicest beaches in the country, man. It's lovely.
Aye.
That's Sunderland. Well, it's just Sunderland anyway.
Newcastle?
Nice. No. It's closer to...
I thought Anderson from Palace was going to Fulham, says Gallen. Only in England international because of injuries. But it doesn't matter though. He got in and he did what he needed to do. He was excellent.
No, he's got that tax.
Aye. He was excellent. So just pay the money if you want him. Otherwise, just go and look at your under 21s or go and have a look doing the championship or wherever. You're performing at the highest level. So you need players who've done it. And that comes with a tax, like Gary's just said. According to Sky Sports, Fulham have opened talks for McTominay. Actually, they started singing, the Fulham fans.
Aye. He wants to play for us.
He wants to play for us. He wants to play for Fulham. So, I wish, if it does happen, I wish Scott all the best, because one thing he has done is give his all for Manchester United when he's come on. Doesn't matter if he's the best technically or not. I like him, and I wish him well for the future, whatever happens. It was Minter that we sold to Brighton, says Martin Kens. The money we made off Anderson to Forest and Minter to Brighton was to balance last year's books. There is none of that money left. This FFP, PSR stuff is crap. Yes, but you've had a season of, you've had 2 Seller Cups now. You've had sponsorships. So your money should be, there or thereabouts. You should be able to afford 70 million. If you can't, then I think you just need to pack up and start playing the likes of Ashton and that. Sorry, kids are watching. Can you refrain from swearing? Kids. You can have a drink in. He has got kids. Sorry, he has. He's got Jamie Lee, which is not of age. That he has swearing. You can have a drink in Sunderland Premier Shop. Cheers, Fazza. Good crack, this lads. Sterling, one of the highest paid players in the Premier League. He'd have to take a massive pay cut to join the little team in the Northeast. Says Jordan Anderson. I love it. I love the crack. I wish we could get a tune fan on and all, but
that's good.
Not to worry. Right, Gary, let's look ahead to next week's Premier League fixtures. Obviously, we've talked about Sunderland. They've got Burnley at home, and Middlesbrough have.
What about Ashton yesterday, Melly?
At home.
Did you want to touch on the FA Cup?
FA Cup on BBC One, the red button.
Obviously, Ashton were televised on the BBC yesterday. Meant for the area, and they only got 478. Had we known that was coming up, obviously we would have given it a little bit publicity.
I'm very surprised I didn't see nothing online.
Tried to push it a little bit.
The admin team.
Absolutely.
Right,
but went behind 1-0 and then they equalised 61 minutes or something. So they've managed to get a replay, which is on Tuesday night. So hopefully on Tuesday night, obviously it's at Bishop Auckland, they can get through. Obviously, this is just to even get into the FA Cup draw, isn't it? So the preliminary sort of thing. But wish them all the best.
Definitely. Aye. Absolutely, mate. I echo that. Yes, so I've just covered Sunderland and Middlesbrough. We're the first game again this weekend, Gary.
Now
United. We've seen it all. We won the lot. We're Man United and we're never going to stop. So the last time Man United opened the Premier League, they won the league. The last 3 teams to lose the Community Charity Shield who lost won the Premier League. It's written, isn't it? We're going all the way.
I hope you're right.
Second half of the season, we're doing a title charge. Brighton v United. Me and you will both be there, Gary. 12 kickoff. How do you see this, Gan? Brighton, obviously, good start.
No one likes an early kickoff to the.
No.
I think it's going to be one of them games where it's going to be like both teams will be probably scared to give a little bit too much first off. I think Brighton's obviously a very good team, but I think that the Pascal Gross, I think he was one of their best midfielders for the last few seasons. They have lost him. I cannot see how but a Man United win.
Brighton are coming off the back of 5 straight wins. United obviously have 3 losses and 2 wins in their last 5 games. Personally, I would be happy with another 1-0. It's going to be tight. It's going to be hard. We'll see how it goes. But I think I'm going to go for 1-0 United.
I'm going 2-0.
2-0 United?
2-0 United.
Excellent. Got Leanne here saying football is a load of shite.
What?
And Gallen saying you've seen a lot. You only had a season ticket for free. Yeah. 2-year long on. You did. I
was going to say, is that him?
Where were you in 1993? Not where I was. But where were you? Next up, Crystal Palace against West Ham. Another tough game for West Ham. Well, another tough game for both teams, to be fair. Both off the back of a loss. Crystal Palace are at home, though. I'm going to go for a Crystal Palace win 2-1.
I think a draw 1-1.
1-1. Staying in London, you got Fulham against Leicester. I'm going to go for a 3-1 convincing win to Fulham.
I think Fulham will win that 2-0.
Tell you what, we'll slow down a bit because the lads are joining in here. Gallen's gone for 2-0 to Brighton. Fake United 2, Brighton 1, says Billy Noble. Martin Gallen's gone West Ham to win 2-1. Billy Noble saying 1s each. Gallen is saying 2-0 to Fulham. Billy Noble has gone for 1s each. Champion, we've caught up. Next up, Fairy's gone for 2s each. We have, did we cover Fulham and Leicester there, mate? Yeah, I went 3-1, didn't I?
Yep.
Yeah. Next up, Man City against Ipswich.
Oh, aye. I think 5-0.
Yeah.
Aye.
See what the lads say. I'm going to go for probably 4 out. Can't say out else. Be City's first game at home. Barry's gone 4-0. Martin Gallen's gone 4-0. I wonder what Billy Noble's going to go. Dave Armstrong's gone Brighton 1, Man U 1, Fulham 2, Leicester 0. Jordan Anderson is going 4-0 to City. Dave Armstrong's gone 3-0. Billy Noble's going 7-0. A little optimistic, but it's it's possible, isn't it? That's the thing. Right. Next up, we've got Southampton against Nottingham Forest.
I think Southampton might get themselves a win there, actually. I'm going to say 2-0 to Southampton.
I'm going to go 2-1 to Nottingham Forest. For Southampton, they couldn't beat Newcastle 10 men with that much possession. I cannot see them. Where's the goals going to come from? So I'm going to go for Forest 2-1. Martin Gallen is going to go 1s each, as is Billy Noble. Katie Cupcake has gone 4-0 to City. We'll just wait on the lads catching up. She's gone 1s each for Forest and Southampton. Who are we waiting on? Dave Armstrong, 2-1 to Southampton. Not a lot of people have fancied Forest, like. Is that it? Yeah, we'll move on. Tottenham v Everton. Fairy's gone nails each. Probably has got stalemate written all over that game, to be fair, Fairy. Good call, mate. Tottenham against Everton. I'm going to go for 4-1 to Tottenham.
3-1.
3-1.
Spurs. Aye.
Gallant's saying 4-1 to Spurs. Anyone else? Billy Noble, 2-0 to Spurs. Everton's going to struggle, aren't they, mate?
Aye, I think so.
Yeah. Dave
Well,
Armstrong, 3-1.
Apparently that Branthwaite that we were after, apparently he's injured with a groin injury. Apparently, he not in the squad.
The day.
Well, yesterday when they played, so
2-0 to Spurs, says Ferry. Katie Cupcake's gone 3-1. Katie, I don't know if you've seen before, but the picture that you've got there with Scott McTominay, he could be on his way to Fulham, apparently. Jordan Anderson has gone 2s each to Spurs. And Dave says he hopes Everton goes down, lads. Long overdue them. The Toon's got this bad feeling towards Everton, haven't they? Because of, I'm sure it was when Newcastle went down. I might be wrong. Mistake as if I'm wrong. Scoochie's gone 1s each. And the final game on Saturday is 5:30 kickoff. Aston Villa are at home to Arsenal. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Villa win.
I'm gonna say 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
Billy Noble, Pickford. You can't diss Pickford. Like he said, he just does it for England, doesn't he? The Toon hate him, but he does it. He does it he's, I don't know. I kind of get Monday on this. Drop down, have a quick look, Gary, see if there's any Monday games, and I'll flick through these predictions. Obviously, I've got Sunday, but I just need Monday if there's any games next Monday. Martin Gallen's gone for 2s each. Billy Noble thinks Arsenal will win 2-1. Barry thinks it'll be 2s each. Jordan Anderson's gone for 2-1 to Villa. Katie Cupcake's going 2s each. And Martin Cairns is also going Villa 2, Arsenal 2. A lot of 2s each there. 10-3 odds, Melly. 0-0 draw. Not bad. 2s each, you probably get 16 to 1 for. I can see that being goals, to be fair. So that's a good shout, boys.
What was the last game you went there?
A week on Monday. But have you got it?
Which one did you want?
Just a week on Monday, if there's any Premier League games. Not this Monday.
So you've got, where did we get up to there?
Aston Villa next Sunday.
Right.
I can't get Monday yet.
No, I don't think there is any.
Champion. So on the Sunday, you've got Bournemouth against Newcastle.
Yep.
Newcastle's obviously away to Bournemouth. Bournemouth coming on the back of a
1-1 draw.
Yeah, they've got 2 draws, 2 wins, and a loss. Newcastle's got 4 wins and a loss in there.
I expect Newcastle to win that game, to be honest. I think Newcastle probably win that 2 or 3-0.
I'm going to go for 1s each.
Will you?
Aye. Good little grunt, that Bournemouth grunt. In the heart of beat. So I'm going to go 1-1. Billy Noble is going for 2-0 to the Toon. Lee Fairgrieve has gone for 5-0 to Bournemouth. Martin Gallen's gone 4-2 to the Toon. Yeah, he's praying. He says there's no games on the Monday, says Leanne. And Dave Armstrong has gone for 2-0 to the Toon. So some optimism from the Toon fans. You'd expect now different. Party down there next week for Gallen's birthday. Gallen will be there, man. He doesn't even go to the games. It was the opening game yesterday. I didn't even think he went. Saturday, was it? Yesterday. Didn't go. He'll definitely not be there. 100%. He's a part-time fan. Katie Cupcake, 2-2. She says for the Toon. And Jordan Anderson says 3-0 to the Toon. Stella's kicked in, he says. Right. Cracking on. Wolves against Chelsea. Wolves at home, obviously.
I quite fancy Wolves to take this, at home, first game of the season for them, like at home. I'm going to go on 2-1 Wolves.
Yeah, I think I'm going to mirror you, mate. I'm going to go 2-1 to Wolves. Opening game of the season, Chelsea's vulnerable. The pressure will be on. I can see now, but a Wolves win.
He is going to come under massive
pressure.
immense pressure.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't, but he will, because he's already like, I don't know. It's just like the decisions, like omitting Sterling and stuff. The Gallagher thing that he's done, and obviously both being English players, and obviously Chelsea's like an English club. I just didn't think the English fans like at Chelsea like what he's doing. I just didn't, and I think he's gonna get massive backlash off it. Fast. My opinion.
Lose a couple of games anyway. It doesn't matter if you've got the back end. If you lose a couple of games without any kind of division, then the pressure's on. Do you know what I mean? That automatically.
But for a come out and say that, like, Sterling came back early and that, like, he was part of his plans, and then all of a sudden he's just like diminished him from like his match day squad. Like, it looks like a bit of a stab in the back. And you're thinking, well, wow, that's a very nice thing to do that to someone, is it?
Yeah.
So we'll see, though.
We'll see, definitely. You never know what's happening behind the scenes, neither.
You don't.
So, the boys and girls have gotten their predictions in for that game. Martin Gallen has gone for Wolves 2-1, as is Katie Cupcake. Lee Fairgreaves gone the other way. He's gone for Chelsea to win 2-1. Billy Noble also has. He's gone 3-1 to Chelsea. Dave Armstrong has said once each, but he hopes that Wolves nick it. And the last game of next week sees Merseyside game, and it's Liverpool against Brentford. Obviously, Liverpool have got 4 wins and a draw. Brentford, on the other hand, today had 3 draws and a loss, but then won against Palace, so they might have a little bit of momentum there. But still, I'm going to go for 3-0 to Liverpool, I think.
You are? Oh, yeah.
First game in it. At Anfield.
Me head's saying that Liverpool's going to win it, but me heart's saying that Brentford done well. They normally do well away from home. Weren't they the ones that beat City to break that run, and they kind of hang in there. Like I think a lot of it will depend on whether Tony leaves or if he doesn't. Obviously, there's big things happening if they can replace him. Liverpool
won. So
I get it. Liverpool 2-0. I think with Tony and the team, though, I think they've got a chance.
You can never rule them out, like, because they turn up, don't they? Brentford.
Away from home, they make themselves hard to beat. Especially with Tony and the team. Like I say, I think they were the ones that broke Man City's amazing record, didn't they?
So here's your predictions from the lads and lasses. Martin Gallen has gone for 4-1 to Liverpool. Chelsea's gone. Katie's gone for 3-1 to Liverpool. Lee Fairgreaves gone 2-0 Liverpool, as has Billy Noble, and as has Dave Armstrong. So nobody can see Brentford getting anything. Gallen saying, wasn't it Palace that broke City's record?
It was one of them. It was, I don't know.
Somebody from London.
One of them.
Hey, Gary, 1 hour, 24 minutes. I'm going to get some flowers or something. I'm going to get neat tea here. Been mint though. Hey, if we can get cars and stuff in, like it just flies by, doesn't it? Yeah,
absolutely.
Good crack.
Be same again. Obviously, the last game next week is 4:30, so probably 7 o'clock again.
7 o'clock next week. We'll just stay every Sunday, unless obviously United's playing at home on the Sunday. Then we'll know that in the Monday. We'll either bring it forward or push it back to the Monday night. But Sunday works good for me. If it works good for you and everybody else who's tuning in, we'll look forward to it. Well done, boys. Good crack, says Gallen. Thank you, Gallen, lad.
Good crack, man.
That ours it is, says Leanne. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, Gary, lad.
Cheers, Bunny.
Take care.
Ta-da.